Hey everybody, Ben Frederickson here from a cold and blustery Cincinnati. Happy opening day week. We hope you're ready for some Cardinals baseball. I'm alongside Jeff Gordon, and this is your opening day edition of Inside Pitch. Gordo, we know that Cardinals fans are excited to see Nolan Arenado. Obviously, Paul Goldschmidt, this team has some star power now that it had lacked. Adam Wainwright, Yadier Molina. There are a lot of givens on this team. I wanted to talk to you today about maybe some of the guys who could be huge factors for this team that people aren't talking about nationally. Who are some under-the-radar Cardinals who could make a big impact on this team? I'll start with a main one, and then we'll get into the weeds a little bit more. But, outside of St. Louis, I'm not sure a lot of baseball fans know Tommy Edman. Cardinals fans certainly do. But how about the opportunity available for Tommy Edman here? He gets to start at second base. He gets to hit leadoff. Oh, by the way, he's the backup shortstop and the backup center fielder. They need this guy to come through big for him.
Yeah, look at all the elements that Tommy brings to the table. He's he can hurt you from either side of the plate. He's got some speed. He backs up at two premium fielding positions. He's trying to fill the leadoff void, which is significant. So it's you're asking this guy to do a ton, and he a tempo setter. Well, that's what you're hoping to get from him, and he's been that type of guy. But man, it's a lot. Any number of these things could be problematic for him. If he gets into a rut, then what does a team do? Backup shortstop, backup center field, everyday second baseman. Yeah, you can put Matt Carpenter at second base, but 2 hits in the spring don't inspire confidence. So Tommy's a guy that he might be holding the whole thing together.
He's the glue guy, and if he has a good season, it'll be good for the Cardinals. If he struggles or gets hurt, then they're in trouble because they're relying on him to do a lot of things. Let's go one pitcher, one position player, Gordo. Justin Williams. He has a chance to be the starting right fielder if he grabs the opportunity while Harrison Bader is out and potentially change that conversation for when Bader comes back. He's on the team. Lane Thomas is on the taxi squad. It tells you the Cardinals like Justin Williams' spring more than Lane Thomas's. Left-handed at bat. We've seen some impressive exit velocity from him. He hits the ball hard, doesn't always turn into hits. We've seen some defense at times it looks more confident this spring. At times it doesn't look all that confident. I think it's going to be some growing pains, but if he hits, he could change the outlook and conversation for this outfield. There's a pitcher as well. What about John Gant? Where does he fit into this?
Well, in terms of, Gant's wanted to be a starting pitcher. He's got an arsenal, and he's got a mix of pitches. He's got the experience. Unlike a lot of the guys that got backing up the rotation, he's been around. So I was always worried about John burning up in the bullpen, starting well, heavy use, repetition, not as effective the latter part of the year. This role could be well suited for him as a polished guy, brings an element to the rotation with his pitch collection that's different than the rest of the group. That Vulcan pitch could be nasty in terms of setting up hitters. Now, can he get through the order the third time? Well, that's the issue for a lot of the guys in the rotation, but brings a nice element. And he could be a guy that we talk about glue. John Gant could be a guy that kind of holds the rotation together between the top end and then the young guys coming in underneath to support. He could, if he has a solid year, he could keep the 5-man group together.
The longer Miles Michaelis is out of this rotation, the more important John Gant is to it. They think Kim could be back soon. He probably takes Daniel Ponce de Leon's spot. When he is, they're bringing him back as a starter. But Miles Michaelis' timeline is a little more fuzzy, and that means big opportunity for John Gant. And you made a great point before we started recording, Gordo. There's some guys nearby, not exactly in the Cardinals clubhouse, who could be there soon that could make an impact on this season as well. Who are you looking at on the taxi squad and the alternate side of guys you think we're going to see down the road here, not before too long?
Well, you got 3 guys that are great young arms. You got an international signing, Oviedo. You got Matthew Liberatore, who you got in the trade that nobody liked. And then, of course, Zach Thompson, the high draft pick. So between Matthew and Zach and Johan, those are pretty dynamic arms. And they're all lined up, ready to go. As long as they don't run into any trouble over in Sauget, they should be positioned to jump in when needed. And I think this team ultimately will use 10, 11 starters this year just because injuries happen. You're bringing a guy back from injury, really 2 guys back from injury. And it's a long year, and guys haven't been prepared to pitch in a long season in a while. So there's going to be some attrition. There's going to be fatigue. So having guys like this, that's what separates the Cardinals from not only the rest of the division, but really most teams in baseball.
Yeah, the pitching depth is there. They're going to need it. They've tested it already, perhaps a bit too much. We'll see if they look to add a starter at the trade deadline. It will depend on how some of these guys perform. We'll get to that as the season goes along. But first, opening day in Cincinnati, the home opener after the Cardinals go to the Marlins. After that, we'll have it all covered. STLtoday.com. The Inside Pitch is back, and we'll keep it going all season. For Jeff Gordon, I'm Ben Frederickson. Enjoy opening day, everybody.